Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. First official fishing trip of 2023 for me. And what's crazy is we actually have our first tournament of 2023 in about 5 days to kick off the tournament season. I know, it was like a month and a half break, but that's how it is out here in California. Tournaments start in January and I am definitely excited for that. The only thing about that is right now, that body of water, which is Lake Shasta for the California Bass Nation event, is off limits. So we can't get up there and practice. So I figured the goal, the plan today will be to go to a body of water that, in my opinion, is similar, would fish similar, place with largemouth spots, smallmouth, rocky banks, some clay banks. So I figured today we'd fish at Lake Berryessa, a body of water that has some similarities for sure. The one thing that we know for certain is that water is rising. It has been a wet past month and a half in California, which has been great. Fingers crossed it continues and these lakes continue to rise. From the last I heard, Shasta was already up 6 or 7 feet. Doesn't look like Berryessa is up that much more, but there is water flowing in. The water is slowly rising, so I'm guessing that the water clarity is similar, some dingy or dirty water. So yeah, that's the plan today, just to kind of get back in the groove of fishing. Believe it or not, the last time we went fishing was back in the ocean in December. Haven't been bass fishing in about 3 weeks. Got all new line on the rods, the reels, baits, everything is fresh. Rinsed off the kayak of all that salt. I'll say that the one thing that's bad about the ocean is it does a number on your equipment. So I just want to make sure everything is dialed before we head up to Lake Shasta for our first day of practice, then the tournament, which I anticipate will be the next video. But first trip of 2023 at Lake Berryessa, a kind of pseudo pre-fish if you want to call it that. And other than that, really the only goal is to have a fun day out on the water and hopefully get our first bass of 2023. Kayak is all loaded up. We are ready to roll. It is about 7:38. Probably put about 6 hours out on the water today. And you know what, just to mix it up and to get some practice, we'll measure our best 5 today, CPR, catch, photo, release, see what best 5, if we can catch 5, we can put together. So let's head out there. And get her started. So I guess Shasta has risen 6 feet since all this rain started about a month ago. And Lake Berryessa hasn't really gone up too much, which is kind of surprising. But you can see the water is definitely muddied up a little bit. Even though it's wintertime, rising water, which these fish haven't seen in a minute, I think they could be shallower. We got our usual suspect baits for the winter, but one thing that's different that I have not done is throw a spinnerbait shallow. Yeah, we got the A-rig, we got a chatterbait even, then we got our confidence baits, jig, finesse, even some crankbaits and jerk baits. We got everything basically. But the one thing I just want to check, and again, pseudo practice, you know, it's not the same body of water, but sometimes fish are doing similar things. And what I'm checking today is to see if there's any kind of shallow spinnerbait bite or A-rig or chatterbait even. I don't know. Just gotta try. Find out. probe. Looks like if there's gonna be some shallow fish, it's gonna be back here. Let's see if there's some grass back here, and I just pulled some of it up and it was healthy grass. Oh, wow. Didn't that feel like a bite? Or seem like a bite? The rod kind of twitched. Seemed like a bite. Dang it. Oh no. Whatever I got, I set that pretty good. Do not want to lose my rig. Oh man. I got something. I got like a log or something. It's like coming up. If it was in the ocean, I figured it might be a cabezon or something. Man. Oh, I got it, yeah. Oh no, big old stick. First hook set of 2023 into a stick. Okay. Bite. Yes. Yeah, I felt that one. Feels tiny, but I'll take them. Alrighty, first fish of 2023, baby. The old black and blue jig, tiny little spot. It's actually kind of what a lot of the spots look like at Shasta. 12 to 13 inches and pale. These little ones are tough to measure sometimes. They like to flop. This might actually be some good practice on the old catch board. I'm gonna say this is like a 13 incher. It's a little fella, but we'll take him. We don't have the net today, but usually we would put the net on the side because these guys are definitely escape artists. Ah, 14. Nice. First fish of 2023, baby. 14-inch spot. We'll take it. Right down here. As suspected, the water clarity is a little dirtier than a few weeks back, and I don't know, wintertime, cold water, black and blue has traditionally been my go-to color, especially with dirtier water. And then got the chiggerbug trailer just to give off a little more action. I think that one was in probably about 15 foot, so first clue, first sign of the day. It's funny, this like mist is legitimately looking like Shasta. This is always what it seems to be like up at Shasta when we go. First couple months of the year, it's always the first tournament in the past few years. Really pretty up there, and I don't know if it's just like because it's in my head, but this is really looking like Shasta. I wonder if we'll be biting the jig. Oh man, almost 10 o'clock. Only one bite on the jig so far. I don't know. Tried all of our confidence techniques. We've tried fishing from 30 to 5 foot of water, moving baits, jigs, starting to kind of think that the fish might be a little deeper, or maybe we just haven't run across the right stretch, but I don't know. Kind of a tough day so far compared to the last couple of times we come and keep fishing, but part of me is thinking I might need to change it up a bit. Maybe go graphing out deep a little bit more. Just not sure. There we go. Oh, son of a gun. I'm excited. Trigger happy. Trigger happy. Man, I'm 1 for 4 on my hook sets. Hooked into a branch, a small spot, and then 2 whiffs. Trying to cover 2 zones right now too. Like I'm throwing the jig obviously shallower, working it out deep, but I'm also sitting in 40 foot. So, you know, in case there are some fish out deeper, we'll see them on the graph. But deeper I go, the more bare it looks. It's like the trouble sometimes though. In January, it's like a needle in a haystack. Covers so much water, and you gotta get lucky sometimes and just find that school of fish sitting out deeper. almost 11 o'clock, guys, and sometimes this is what happens, like when we do these challenges. I swear this is what happens sometimes, where we weigh our best 5 or measure our best 5. It's like the fishing gods know. They're like, no, you think you're just gonna go catch 5? Nah, not gonna happen like that. Granted, we've had some good days where we do our best 5, but I feel like more often than not they're tough when we do these best 5 challenges. And I don't know, we still got time left, but you know, it is January. It's not like the fishing is gonna be amazing typically. Ooh, one little squeaker so far after what, 4 hours, and we're drop shotting, something I really haven't done in a while. It's a tough day so far, no doubt about it. It's a tough day. Is that a white flag I see in the ground? You think that's a sign? Oh my God. Drop shot. Ooh, spot. Okay. Easy tiger. A couple of his friends down there. I'm gonna boat flip you. I don't know if I should, but I'm gonna do it. Thank you, sir. Yes. All right. Shad colored drop shot. This one's specifically in the smelt color. Oh, we get to weigh 2. We haven't graphed over that area yet. We just kind of graphed over a piece of it, but oh, jeez. Look what he did to me. God. Ah. There could be a group of fish there. I pray. Number 2, 14 incher, 15 maybe? Ooh, 15. Beautiful. All right, number 2. On the smelt flatworm. How nice would it be if there's just a pile of fish right here? That'd be fantastic. Ironically, right by the white flag. Maybe that was our marker, a sign. Is that a fish? It is a fish. Yes, that was a subtle bite. I got a bluegill. Okay, I think drop shot's probably the deal. Oh, smallie. Nice. Man, I did not feel that bite. And what's interesting too is we just went through that area with a jig, so I think that kind of confirms we need to throw a worm. Little chunker, no doubt. Little meatball. 14 1/4. Number 3. Oof. You know, I don't think it's a situation where the bite's like picking up or something like that. I think it's just picked up the right bait. A jig bite's a lot of fun. A-rig bite's a lot of fun, but when they're not biting it, they're not biting it. And God knows how many fish we went over today throwing those baits. Kind of get stuck in history, and obviously the last time we were here, those were the baits that were doing good, but 3 weeks is a lot of time. Bites change. Just that confidence in the jig has just gone down and down, which is too bad because that's a fun bite. My meter was pretty much drained on that jig, and you know, I don't know. Drop shot. I think that's enough. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Drop shot's more bait imitating too, I think. So, whereas the jig is more crawfish imitating, and so maybe they're just more on bait. I mean, obviously that first one spit up a bunch of bait, so yeah. That is a really skinny one. That might be a keeper. I'm gonna measure it. Why not? I think that's 12. That is 12. My goodness. Another smallmouth. There might be a little school of them right there. This is a dangerous fish to measure though. Hot dogs. 12 3/4. way over a keeper. Number 4. Wow. You got 3 fish pretty quick. That's the thing you always got to tell yourself too, no matter what time of year, you know, things can change real quick. Just keep covering water, changing baits. With any luck, you'll run across something. And I think that's what's happened today. 5 keepers would be pretty fun. Oh, we got another one. There is a school right there. That's the 3rd cast. I'm gonna stay off the spot too. Not sure how many are there. So random, just so random. This one feels better. Got a little head shake on him. Not a largemouth, is it? Kind of feels like a largemouth with a head. Might be bigger than I think. Feels like he's got a big old head. No! Oh god, darn it. Ah. I don't know how he popped off. Felt like a good fish though. Shoot. Just wanted to see you. It's like, I don't really care if they get off, you know, a non-tournament day, but I at least want to get a peek at them before they get off so I know what we lost. 4 casts, or 3 casts in the same spot, 3 bites. You know, it's actually probably a good thing we're getting some drop shot bites, because I haven't really thrown the drop shot in so long, and Shasta could be a drop shot deal too, so getting reacquainted with this technique. One more cast and we're gonna change spots. Keep searching. Whatever fish were here, I don't think they're here anymore. Oh, one more cast, one more cast. It's got that feeling. One more cast. There's a bite. I'm glad we did one more cast. I think there's largemouth over here. I'm telling you, this is a largemouth. The one we just lost was a largemouth, and this is a largemouth. Is he a largemouth? Maybe he's not a largemouth. That was a spot. Oh, sorry, dude. Oh my gosh. That gut instinct. I said one more cast, was like, nah, feels like one more cast. You guys know what I'm saying. Does one more cast actually ever mean one more cast? Never really does. Number 5, wow. Can't believe we got a limit. At about 11 o'clock, I did not think that was gonna be possible. I'll take it. You know, January, catching 5, you really can't ask for much more than that. Alrighty guys, first trip of 2023 officially in the books. We went out today, kind of doing a pseudo practice for Lake Shasta coming up. As I mentioned, water in California has been rising, tons of rain, so I really thought that would help the bite. I thought we'd get some shallow fish, but as it often happens, the fish did not cooperate today. They weren't doing what I thought they should be doing, or really what I wanted them to be doing. Weren't getting bit shallow. We started out throwing a spinnerbait, an A-rig, a lot of moving baits up shallow, anywhere from 5 to 15 foot of water. And even still, you feel like if there's fish offshore, suspended, or even roaming around mid-column, those baits will get bit just by chance, but didn't get a bite anyway. So we mixed it up. We threw the jig on some steep bank, another technique that typically does well in the wintertime or the colder months. Took a little while, but we finally got bit. Black and blue jig. The water's a little dirtier today, so we went with that darker color jig. Got a little confidence, first fish of the day, but after that, it was tough, tough, tough. We covered water, we kept mixing the baits up, the presentations, the depths. We were trying main lake points, we were trying pockets all the way back, and just could not get bit, not even really seeing a lot of fish on the graph. And that is the thing with fishing in the winter, especially January, which for me personally is probably the toughest month of the year to catch bass. Is January. I don't care if you're on the Delta, Reservoir, really anywhere in the country with the exception of maybe Florida or Texas. It just seems to be really tough. So not really unusual for it to be so tough. We mentioned this before, but you could go miles and miles covering water all day, and it just really takes that one stroke of luck to run across the right patch of fish, group of fish, and you can get right in a hurry. And that is ultimately what kind of happened today. I don't think we hit that, you know, winter honey hole of fish. They were relatively shallow, and I think it was just a school of fish feeding in a pocket that we just were in the right place at the right time. We did eventually make a change. We tied on a little flatworm in that smelt color. One thing that I've had some success with in the past in the winter months is a drop shot, particularly a drop shot bait that has some pearl or some shad colors in it for those fish on the bottom feeding up on those shad. And it really didn't take long to get bit. Got a nice spotted bass, second fish of the day. It barfed up some shad on me, so thought that was a good sign. Worked that pocket a little bit longer and caught two more pretty quickly, two nice smallmouth. So already at 4 fish for our 5 fish limit, which was looking pretty bad about an hour before. And then number 5 we hooked into, but she came off. Not sure how big that fish was. And then just before we were about to leave, I said one more cast, and you guys definitely know how this goes. One more cast, does that ever really happen? No, it doesn't. After that last cast, we made one more cast, and I'm glad I did because we got bit on that 5th keeper of the day. We got our 5 fish limit, a small limit mind you, and that was pretty much it. Covered some more water, tried some new areas, tried some areas we had fished before without the drop shot, with the drop shot, and didn't get bit, and that was all she wrote. So tough bite, but we were fortunate to get 6 bites today. That's 5, probably right around 70 inches. And then more importantly, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the goal of today was just to dial in some equipment, make sure that the kayak, the drive, the motors, the batteries were all working since we last took everything out in the salt. Everything seemed to be good, everything was working. And then I guess as a bonus, we got on some drop shot fish, and drop shotting, you know, could be a player up at Shasta. I'm not sure, we'll see when we get there, but it was nice to actually get on some fish and kind of get my groove back with the drop shot. Guys, that is the first video of 2023. I want to thank you guys for coming along. I hope you stick with me this entire year. I'm sure it's going to be an adventure between the random fishing trips and the tournaments. Who knows what'll happen, but either way, I will catch you guys in the next video.